In the early 1700s, Peter the Great's reforms set Russia on the path to becoming a major European power. But it was his grandson's German wife, Catherine, who deposed her husband to seize the throne, completing that transformation. Like Peter, she would also be remembered as the Great. Catherine admired the French Enlightenment and even corresponded with Voltaire. She ruled as an enlightened autocrat, her power unchecked. Yet she pursued ideals of reason, tolerance, and progress. She became a great patron of the arts and learning. Schools and academies were built. The Bolshoi Theater was founded, and her magnificent art collection formed the basis of today's Hermitage Museum. Catherine encouraged Europeans to settle in Russia, welcoming German migrants to the Volga, where they became known as the Volga Germans, their communities lasting nearly 200 years, until Stalin deported them east at the start of World War II. Her reign also brought vast territorial expansion. Russia defeated the Ottoman Empire, annexed the Crimean Khanate, and founded Novorossiya, New Russia, settled under the supervision of Prince Potemkin, her advisor and lover. Meanwhile, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth collapsed, partitioned by its neighbors, with Russia taking the largest share. Poland would not return as an independent state until 1918. Russia also inherited a large Jewish population, whom Catherine confined to the Pale of Settlement, excluding them from most cities. When the French Revolution executed King Louis XVI, Catherine was horrified, abandoning the liberal ideals of her youth. 3 years later, she died, ending one of the most glorious reigns in Russian history. She was succeeded by her son Paul, obsessed with military discipline, and opposed to all his mother's works. Russia joined the coalition of European powers fighting revolutionary France. Marshal Suvorov, one of Russia's greatest commanders, won victories against the French in northern Italy, but the wider war ended in failure. Meanwhile, Tsar Paul's reforms alienated the army and nobility, and he was murdered in a palace coup. He was succeeded by his 23-year-old son Alexander, who shared his grandmother Catherine's vision for a modern Russian state. Guided by the brilliant Count Mikhail Speransky, Alexander reformed administration and finance, but refused to support a liberal constitution. It was war with France that defined his reign. France's new emperor, Napoleon Bonaparte, defeated Russia and her allies at Austerlitz, Eylau, and Friedland. Yet at Tilsit in 1807, the two young emperors made an alliance. Soon after, Russia attacked Sweden and annexed Finland as an autonomous Grand Duchy. But in 1812, Napoleon invaded Russia. At Borodino, the French and Russian armies fought one of the bloodiest battles of the age. Napoleon claimed victory, but the Russian army survived. He occupied Moscow, which burned to ruins, and when Alexander refused to negotiate, the French army was forced into a disastrous retreat through the Russian winter. Ending in annihilation, Napoleon had suffered a mortal blow. Russia, with Prussia, Austria, and Britain, then led the counterattack, capturing Paris and forcing Napoleon to abdicate. At the Congress of Vienna, Alexander became King of Poland. He also formed the Holy Alliance with Austria and Prussia, aiming to suppress further revolutions in Europe. Meanwhile, Russia fought wars against the Ottoman Empire, Persia, and tribes of the Caucasus, expanding its frontier into Bessarabia, Circassia, Chechnya, and much of Georgia, Dagestan, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. But resistance was fierce, leading to the brutal Caucasian War, fought in mountains and forests, lasting nearly 50 years. Alexander was succeeded by his brother Nicholas, a conservative and reactionary ruler. Yet parts of Russian society, including officers influenced by the Napoleonic Wars, had developed a taste for European-style liberalism. They saw Nicholas as an obstacle, and his first challenge as emperor would be a military revolt.